Hello, everybody. It's time for another broadcast from myself, Richard Beauvoisin, at Ceroc Live and Ceroc Dance. So a few quick updates to start with. It's Wednesday, which means it's Chippenham. Chippenham is at the Kington Langley venue tonight. This was a prior booking that we couldn't have at the Neild Hall. There's a few of them each year, and that is where we are tonight. I'm teaching. Zoe's not very well. So yes, I'm teaching with the lovely Alice up on stage with the lovely Pete DJing. Everybody is lovely. Right, so that's we're back at the Neild Hall next week, just to let you know that. Bath, we've had a number of things going on at Bath, and one of the things that lots of ladies have said is they're not that comfortable walking back to their cars late at night. So from tomorrow, we are introducing a new chaperone service. So if you do want to take advantage of this, you could be a man or a lady, of course, then just ask Paris at the front door and she will find you a crew member and they will help you back to your car. No problem at all. That starts from tomorrow. People have been asking about the Big Bath Bash, which was due to take place this Saturday. Unfortunately, the last event, we had a number of complaints from local residents about noise pollution, especially the people that live in the flat above the second room. So unfortunately, we can't do a Big Bath Bash at that particular venue anymore. So yes, we have a new Big Bath Bash venue that will be advertised very shortly. It's incredibly exciting. It's hopefully the best event that we've ever done. But that will take place in the very near future. So do watch out for that. But there's no Big Bath Bash this Saturday. Good. The other thing that we're going to change at Bath is that once a month, this is on the normal Thursday night class nights, is that the first Thursday of the month we will be doing as a freestyle night to try and hopefully get some freestyles at Bath. The night will run from 8 until 11 o'clock as usual in the main room. In the second room, we will be running a beginner's class at 8 o'clock as usual. And then due to lots of people asking about them, we are now going to run an advanced class at 9 o'clock in the second room. This is going to be at Bath on the first Thursday of the month. That is, of course, next Thursday. Okay, tomorrow night is open as usual for our class night in Bath at St. P&J up in Odd Down. So that is Bath for now. Other quick ones. This Sunday is the tea dance in Chippenham. That was originally last Sunday, but it's now been moved to this Sunday. Do come along to that. And Monday, being bank holiday, we are open at Bradford-on-Avon. So our bank holiday freestyle at Bradford-on-Avon. Again, I'll do a beginner's class upstairs in the small room, and we'll have freestyle from 7:30 until 10:30. I've had a number of people asking me, thank you for this one, in hot weather, this is especially coming from the ladies, could the gentlemen please bring some spare tops? As much as they love touching sweaty palms and sweaty backs, they'd love to have a fresh top from time to time. So if you can bring a towel with you, this is feedback from other ladies, by the way, bring a towel with you, some spare tops, and deodorant would be lovely as well. So there's that bit for you. Hello, Tina. I can see comments today. Please, that's lovely. So if you can put any questions, if you do have any questions that you want to put on, then do put them on here now. Right, I do have a few questions that have come in. The first one, a number of them are from the lovely Des. Hello, Des. The first one is flight. What does it mean? How can we do it? So I've been looking at a number of different videos and stuff that are to do with flight. Flight is really about flow of the dance and how to make it feel good and how to make it feel very smooth. When I do private lessons, what I often talk about is what we call the figure of 8. And this is regarding momentum. This isn't the hip motion of a figure of 8, but this is actually about momentum of how you step back and how you step forward. When you're a beginner, you generally have what we call a straight line momentum. So you'll step back, and if you get your weight on your back foot, that's pretty good, but most people don't. And you kind of have a stop-start feeling about it. As you get better, you tend to then slowly increase the pressure on your back foot, and that will then slowly increase the feeling of slowing down at the end as you step back and also as you step forwards. The best dancers, people like Zoe, for instance, they will have a figure of 8 that looks like this. They'll have a very quick acceleration as they move, and then as they step back, they'll really roll through their foot, slow it right down, and then come back the other way. Okay, so that's how you get better at doing it. So my best tip for improving flight and improving flow is to focus on your footwork. And as you're stepping back, make sure you're really pushing down on your heel before you come back the other way. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please do feel free to contact me at that point. Okay. So the next question was, what's the best way to tell someone that drops and lifts may be dangerous on a crowded floor when you're at a freestyle event? First of all, please don't do any lifts. at any Ceroc event. They're not covered in insurance, so please don't do any lifts. Doing drops, yes, please do be aware that if it is a busy dance floor, and hopefully you can hear me, Rob. Turn up the volume maybe on your video, on your laptop. If you are doing dips and drops, please do make sure that you have got space to do them. If you're lowering the ladies right down to the floor, please be aware that people do move, sometimes in an unexpected way. If you do see somebody that is doing dips and drops and you feel it's not particularly safe, do have a chat with whoever is running that particular night, whether it's our nights or anybody else's nights, and ask them to have a chat. And they'll have a quiet chat with that particular person, no doubt. I've had to do it myself. So how do we encourage men and ladies to swap the lead follower duties to see the dance dynamic from the other perspective? Shoulder injuries are my main concern on poorly executed force leads. So a few bits on that then. First of all, do feel free, if you're a lady, to do the man's part, if you're a man, to do the lady's part. Generally, men, for whatever reason, are more uncomfortable dancing with other men. I do the follow parts all the time myself, and I sometimes come across people that aren't very comfortable with it. That's fair enough. That's your prerogative. If you do want to do the follow part and you're a man, we have a number of people that do it, fixed couples at the back of the room already. So that's absolutely fine to do that. We don't have any issues. Ladies, generally, lots of ladies already do the lead part. And I always say it improves your dancing by about 30 to 40% if you can appreciate what the other people are going through. Yes, Jen, that's a very good point. Always ask if dips and drops are okay to do with that particular person. And ladies, never throw yourselves down to the floor. I've had that on the odd occasion where a chap did a traveling return and the lady thought he was doing a drop, so she literally threw herself down to the floor. The man ended up on top of her, and then she had a go at him for not catching her, when in fact he had no intention of doing a drop. So ladies, always be aware that, you know, it's the man's choice to do the drop, but men, always make sure you do ask. Okay. Next one that we've got on here. What are the characteristics? I love this question, by the way. What are the characteristics of a poor, average, and awesome lead? The same question for follower. How can I get a third party's objective assessment of my dance skills weakness? Why should I go to private lessons when a workshop is just as good? So it's about 3 questions in there, in truth. So the first one, leading. It's one of those things that when we very first learn how to dance, we learn how to dance using our arms. We push and pull with our arms. As we get better, we start to move our bodies more. Then what tends to happen is that what lots of men do is what we call double leading. So they are using their arms and they're using their body, and therefore the strength of their lead is at least twice of what the actual ladies do require. So men, ask your partners, does this feel a bit heavy to dance with? I've danced with a number of people lately. As I said, I've been doing the follow part quite a lot lately. I've been dancing with a number of men lately that have literally yanked me from side to side because they're moving their body and still pulling with their arms. And you don't need to do that, chap. So once you've got to a certain point, then just say, you know, am I leading in the right way? If you're in doubt, please feel free to ask a teacher or any taxi dancers, and they will hopefully be able to help you. I will always be available to help anybody. I'll be at Chippenham tonight and Bath tomorrow. Do come and see me. So yeah, that's one of the best tips for the men. Try and make sure that you are either using your body, which is much better to lead, or you are using your arms when you're very first starting. Okay, so that's the best tip I can give on leading. Regarding following, I have a lovely term. It's not particularly offensive, but it's not particularly nice either, of either what we call waiters or runners. So again, I spoke earlier about ladies, when you're stepping back, transferring all of the weight onto your back foot. So when you step back, ladies, what we're really looking for you to do, we talk about the fundamentals in dancing, about getting the weight over your back foot and waiting for the man to lead you. When you do that and you've got all that weight over your back foot, you will feel the tension from the man. As soon as you step forwards, ladies, i.e. run at the man, the tension goes, and then you can't quite feel what the man wants you to do. Stepping back and waiting means that you have that tension. So ladies, best tip for yourself, if you are wanting to improve your follow, is to step back, wait for the man to lead you, and hopefully you'll be able to tell what he wants you to do. So yes, Tina, it is Kington Langley tonight. So when I said I'm at Chippenham, hopefully Kington Langley is still kind of part of Chippenham. So yes, we're at Kington Langley, which is our normal tea dance venue for those that want to come along tonight. It's a lovely venue. We'll be doing all the free squashes and stuff and that type of stuff. Hello, John. So the next part is doing a private lesson over a workshop. Why should you do it? All of our teachers do offer private lessons. Please do contact us. at dance@ceroclive.com or dance@cerocdance.co.uk. If you do want to inquire about private lessons, I know a number of teachers do it already. They're great. You can get a one-to-one basis, and we can again feel what you want to do rather than just look at what you're doing. Sometimes it's very difficult to look at what you're doing and then improve what you're doing. John asks, can I watch this later or is it live only? You have the pleasure of watching me back as many times as you want, John. So just to let you know that part. Hello. Next question that we had was, we see a lot of lady styling tips. Can we have some men lead tips? The last move at Chippenham was very nice. I tried it a few times after the lesson with ladies who hadn't done the lesson, and I couldn't lead it for them to follow. Asked a few leads and all felt the same. It depends on the move, in truth. Most of the techniques that are given during a class are actually aimed at the men. Probably about 80% of the teaching is aimed at the men. So you get lots and lots of lead tips on that. But yes, there are some moves that are very, very difficult to lead in freestyle. When we competed recently, thank you very much for all the comments. We had some lovely comments about our dancing in the video that's on Facebook, so thank you for that. Some of those moves, myself and Zoe, we would chat and say, this is the move that we're going to do next. Now, we're not saying that you should, every single move go, I'm doing a high first next. Next will be a basket. I'm not suggesting doing that for any case like that. But for instance, recently at Chippenham, we taught a scroll. And again, it's a very, very difficult move to lead for the ladies. They've got to sink down and stick their leg out to the side. Almost impossible to follow that if you don't know what's going on. So there's no problem about having the odd verbal move that you can use in dancing. Of course, if you say the word scroll to somebody, or scoot, sorry, not scroll, scoot to somebody, and they'll then turn around and go, what was that? And then you say scoot, and they'll go, I've no idea what that is. And then you go, I'll do a different move then. So yeah, that's often what happens. But if they do have some idea of it, then go for it. But there's no problem about doing the odd dance move, which has a verbal command. Hello, Kay. Yes, I miss dancing with you too. I hope you're feeling well. The other question that's often asked is, can we do more advanced moves at all of the venues? Currently at Swindon and Salisbury, we still do advanced moves with fixed couples out in a different room. At Bath, we changed that due to the facilities that we had. As I said, we are reintroducing doing an advanced move once a month, first Thursday of the month, at the freestyle night, which will be running at Bath every first Thursday of the month. At Chippenham, it's very difficult because the room where we run the taxi session is a carpeted room, and therefore it's very difficult to spin on. It's okay for doing a taxi session, but actually doing quick moves on there would be much more difficult to do. So that would limit the amount of advanced stuff we could do. But it is something we can look at. We could possibly cater the moves, but it would obviously be very restricted in regards to what we could do. What we don't want to have is people getting injuries from turning quickly on carpet, for instance, because that's not very suitable. So yeah, we'll try and sort that out. So, but we could do the odd advanced move. Tonight's move at Kington Langley and Chippenham, the third move, you can make that move or as advanced or as simple as you like. So do come along to see what we're doing at Chippenham in the third move. Again, somebody asked me, I've got about a minute and a half left. If there's any other questions people want to put up, please do put them up fairly quickly. Somebody asked about the structure of an intermediate class on Facebook the other day, and the basic structure is that the first two moves that you do in an intermediate class should be about a 5 out of 10 difficulty level. They are designed for everybody to get their core moves right, but also about those people that are coming up from beginners to intermediates. And it's quite a jump for most people to go from doing a normal slingshot, for instance, to all of a sudden doing quite a complicated move. So if you are fairly new to intermediates, then do the first two moves. Hopefully nail those two moves. By all means, give the third move a go. Okay, don't drop out of the class unless you're feeling particularly uncomfortable. But give the third move a go. But if it doesn't fit for you, don't worry too much about it. Okay, make sure you focus on those first two moves. If you are much more experienced, people like Tina, for instance, then focus on the last move and try and focus on trying to make that move as good as you possibly can. If you came along every week for a year and you did those third moves and nailed those third moves, that'd be 50 extra moves in your repertoire that you could possibly do. So do try and nail those ones down. Right, so that's the end of this little broadcast. I hope you have enjoyed it. A reminder, classes that run Mondays is Bradford and Avon, Tuesdays is Swindon and Salisbury, Wednesdays is Chippenham, and Thursdays is Bath. Obviously, we run the freestyles as we go through the month. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.